And what's this episode is for I'm Kendall. This episode is talking about great books, basketball, and the Mars Space Rover. Enjoy.
First up, we have Salt to the Sea. Salt to the Sea is a great book. It's an historical fiction about the Soviet Army invading Germany during World War II, not to mention the greatest maritime disaster. It's told from 4 points of view, so it shows what I'd really like to be during these times. Salt to the Sea also got on the Battle of the Books list, so it must be good, right? Second up is Wings of Fire, the Dragonette Prophecy. Do you like war, prophecies, dragons, fantasy islands? How about all that wrapped into one? Wings of Fire is all that, and starting off we have Wings of Fire, Dragonette Prophecy, plus 14 more books, and 3 archers. And even more on top of that. Once you pick up a book, you'll be hooked, and then you end up falling into a run of books with no way back out. But you wouldn't want to leave, because why would you? But for any sort of reading, it's about a Chinese immigrant and her struggles in America. And then when you pick up this book, you'll find it's a beautifully heartwarming story. This book is also won the Children's Literature Award. If you like this book, you'll probably want to read the sequel, 3 Keys.
So I have 5 questions. First one is, in what way did you contribute to the Mars rover?
Ooh. I was a judge for the naming of the rover. So the name Perseverance came from many, many entries that were submitted for by students across the country that wanted to get involved in the naming of the rover contest. And I happened to be one of the judges to read their essays. And there was many essays. But it was a really, really fun competition because so many kids had ideas that were great ideas. Some of them were like, I could tell that they really just had to do something for language arts or for making somebody happy. But some kids really put a lot of thought into it. It had some really great justification. It was basically a persuasive essay as to why they thought their name would be the most suitable for the Mars rover. So we had a competition for that, and then there was also a competition for the Ingenuity, and which is the helicopter. And I was not one of the judges for that competition, just for the rover.
What's it like working with NASA?
And so let me clear up a little bit of confusion there. Everybody thinks that I work for NASA, and I do not. I actually I volunteer. I'm a volunteer public speaker for NASA in their what we call the Solar System Ambassador Program. So I get to speak to people all over the country about things that are going on with NASA. So basically I'm a public speaker for that. But on the other side of it, as a teacher, it's really, really cool because I actually get to go to NASA on a regular basis. And the reason I get to do this is because of some programs that I've applied for that meet at NASA. So I've been really, really fortunate, and I have to keep saying this to myself because sometimes I just don't believe it's real, that I've had the privilege of meeting more than 15 astronauts. I've had dinner with them. I've had lunch with them. I've emailed them back and forth. I mean, so there's really great things there by getting that connection going, because then I can bring that to the classroom. So that's one side of it. But the one thing that I always, have to remember, and this is kind of expanding on what you originally asked me, is that NASA is not just astronauts. There's only a small group of people that are the actual astronauts. NASA is more than space, and that's why I like working with them, because it is more than space. It's geology, it's other sciences, it's medical, it's you name it, and it's NASA. Believe it or not, there's a lot of stuff that NASA's developed that is actually used by everybody here in the United States and around the world. And it was originally started as an idea for space, but then it turned into something that we could use day to day. So that's one of the reasons I like working with them, because it's not just astronauts, it's engineers, it's people with creativity, it's people that are just excited about keeping things, going. And it's just a really great opportunity every time I get to go down to Texas or down to Florida or to the Marshall Flight Center, which is down in Alabama, or to Wallops Island, which is up in Virginia, which is where they launched the resupply rockets that go up to the space station. So there's a lot of really great things that I've had the opportunity to do because of that. So I don't know if that answers it for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this one,
Okay.
but what is Perseverance's goal on Mars?
Actually, it's really interesting because Perseverance is up there for several reasons. Because this is not the first time we put a rover on Mars. So this is not. Definitely not the first time. But what it's really doing is it's going to go up there and study the rocks. It's going to go up there and do some more actual research. So it wants to go ahead and it wants to look at the geological processes that have gone on Mars, just like we have on Earth. And since we're doing Earth science right now, we're looking at the rock formations and how things have changed. We can see, if we dig through the rock and we drill through the rock, we can see where there's been changes in climate. We can see where there's been changes in the pressure in the earth and the heat in the earth and all that stuff. So what they want to do is they're trying to drill through that crust that we have, just like we have here on Earth. They're trying to drill through the crust and look at what's gone on through time on Mars, which is kind of cool. And the nice thing about it is the surface and the lower layers below that are going to actually be able to tell you what the environment's been like. And right now, just like, well, okay, I won't go beyond that, but that's pretty much is what the main purpose was. And of course, with the ultimate goal that we send people to Mars. So it's going to go beyond soil composition and testing the soil composition. It's going to go a little bit beyond that, but it really, really wants to look at the rocks and the soil activity so they can understand what happened, why there's no water on Mars anymore. Because there's evidence water was there, but now they're trying to figure out by looking at the soil and the rock as to what happened to it.